Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. It's Rad. And today, of all things, we're gonna dive into the full moon in Gemini, which is starting in a few hours actually for you, my American friends, and for me as well. Uh, but for me, starting on the 28th, actually, rather than no, it's on the 27th. What I'm talking about here. Anyway, it starts at 27th of November, 4:16 a.m. per my calendar that I'm looking here on my screen. And this lunar cycle is going to be in a full effect up until December 12th this year, 2023, of course. At 6:32 p.m., then the moon becomes new in Sagittarius. So that is going to be the period that we are going to dive into, that we're going to look into through my tarot cards. Rocky, hello, welcome to the stream. And first things first, it's the collective reading that I'm going to do. The cards you can see on the thumbnail. I'm going to show them to you anyway right now. I drew them a couple of hours ago. Actually, it was a yeah, roughly 2 weeks, give or take, a few hours ago. And the first card that we do have for the transit, which and the position does represents the theme, the topic, and the atmosphere of the transit, or what the full moon in Gemini is going to kind of an influence overall is going to have over us. That is the 8th of oh my god, I haven't put my lights. Hold on a second. There you go. Can illuminate the cards. All right, so the first one, 8 of Swords. This represents the atmosphere and the topic. The second card, or the second position, does represent the things which are going to hold us back. So these are obstacles, plights, problems. 6 of Pentacles. It is what we have here. The third card does represent the guidance, or is also known as the best behavior or approach we can take toward the situations. And this is the 9 of Pentacles. Then the fourth card represents the lesson that we all are going to learn, and that is the Fool in this particular case. And the final card, the fifth one, does represent the positive influence, or these are the things which are going to push us forward, okay? Our advantages, resources, and all these things. We do have the Page of Cups. So first and foremost, it's all going to be about the big picture, right? And therefore, the details about the job, the details about the project, for example, the details about the relationship are going to pale away, because they're just going to be irrelevant in comparison to the big picture, to what could be in the future. And thus, all of us are going to start changing positions, opinions, perspective for the better, perspectives, plural, for the better part. And things we thought, I don't know, incomprehensible, unthinkable to be done, to be thought of, or to be taken under consideration was the right expression I was searching for, now will become way more plausible. Now they will become actually the available or valuable option moving forward. And thus many of us are gonna embark on, can I put it into words, well, new roads or new paths, but just this not to be confused as new beginnings, because these are not new beginnings. These are just a new approach we will to take toward the job, toward the project, that is going to be far more effective than the old one. It will give us way more options available than the old one, and it will expand our box. So if we have to start doing and thinking outside of the box, what is outside of the box will become within the box, because the box will become humongous. And that will needless to say, widen our world, is going to allow us to have versatility, if you will, and it is just will open us up for many, let's put it that way, new things. And so it's important to learn to try out, or rather, or that is not exactly what the card says. It says not to have any prejudice toward one another thing. Don't focus on the details. The bigger picture is what is important, and therefore try it out, see if you're gonna like it. And at least according to these cards, you will be more surprised than not to see that actually you are developing, we all are developing an emotional connection to stuff that we consider unthinkable up until this point. And so some of us are going to find new muse, others are going to find new venues, third are going to find new hobbies. But the real topic, newness. It is what we have. All right. That was the collective. And a few notes about the show now before I move forward. Bear in mind, guys, that these are going to be readings for the star signs, 12 in count. I'm going to start with Aries and I'm going to end up with a Pisces. And as they are readings for the star signs, depending on how prominent the star sign is in your chart, that will determine how, where, and in what extent this prediction, or rather like this interpretation, is going to influence you in any way. But my point here is that these are not going to be your personal readings. Okay, for a personal reading, you can go to my website, which you can find in the description down below, and there at the very front page you can see full list of my services and as well their pricing. Furthermore, if you do enjoy the channel and you wish to support us, you can do so via Super Chat here on YouTube or via PayPal, which link you're going to find in the description down below. And anyone who does that, we're going to have a reading at the end of the stream. That's guaranteed, which brings me to the Super Chat announcement. The first one, that will be Yasmin. Thank you for the $20 PayPal. Thank you, Yasmin. And as well, Rocky, thank you for the 29 Canadian. Thank you, Rocky. Taco, thank you for the $22.22. Thank you, Taco. And Jasmine, thank you for the $20 super chat. Thank you. You guys are gonna have your reading at the end of the stream. Hold on a second. Just to put you into the list. All right. So with that said, the first star sign that I'm going to read for tonight, this will be Aries. You can track which star sign I'm reading for by the glyph being on my right hand side here. So let me shuffle. Let's see what you guys got. All right, first, King of Wands, followed by the Page of Swords. Third one, that will be the King of Swords. The fourth card, we have the Page of Wands. It's quite crowded for you guys. And the last one, that will be the World. Now, good thing for Aries, it is that with this new moon in full, actually, I'm sorry. With this full moon in Gemini, Aries are gonna have their hands free. So what you can expect is certain aspects which are, can I put it into words, or undertakings, not just only aspects, but as well undertakings, which are constraining you, for lack of better expression here, are going to be pretty much concluded, and so it is very likely that you're going to find yourself with a lot of time on your hands. And this will allow you to actually start working on whatever ambition you do have. And mind you, according to these cards, at the very least, you will be able to transform this idea of an ambition into a very powerful drive. Now, I do need one more card for the Page of Swords. It is the Seven of Wands. So what we do have here for your second position, it is that elemental dignity, Page of Swords, Seven of Wands. We have a active enemies, active friends, I'm sorry, as an elemental dignity. What I meant to say with enemies, it is that this Page of Swords, it is either a person or an organization which is a formidable enemy to your ambition. The first thing that came to my mind, it is that could be someone you're working with or you're making business with. You do have an ambition how to drive the business forward. Highly disagreed with this individual or with this organization. They don't want you to go into that direction, or he or she doesn't want you to go into that direction. And I don't think that, can I put it into words, this person is going to spill the beans. In fact, because it is the Seven of Wands, the sabotage is going to be surreptitious. So should things start happening awkwardly off, okay, and going south, just so you know that probably there is a person or an entity which is actually rotting the roots and the foundation. But other than that, a confrontation, by the way, finding out who that is, and confrontation is the only way to overcome the issue, and you definitely can. Now back to the ambitious drive that you are going to have. These cards are suggesting through the guidance to find professionals. Okay, you have weaknesses. Everyone has weaknesses. Hell, I do have weaknesses. Okay, for example, I'm terrible in accounting, and I don't make my accounting. Okay, because I don't know how, and therefore I hired an accountant. So you should kind of follow the same thought that these cards are showing. Hire your weaknesses, right? And by doing so, this ambition is gonna thrive. Not just only thrive, is gonna blossom, and it will bring you many new things, which is, by the way, the topic of the collective topic of the full moon in Gemini. And on a personal note, this within this particular lunar transit, you're going to have the knack of having fun, which again is not going to be liked by someone around you. Let's hope that that's not your suitor. Okay, that was Aries. Moving next, we do have Taurus. Hello, Reda. Welcome to the stream. Ace of Cups. Seven of Cups. The High Priestess. Two of Cups. Needless to say, super emotional. on the plus side, okay, on the positive side. Emotional is what we have. And the moon, now we do have all water, super emotional, and these emotions are going to be provoked through an impending change that will swirl and suffuse your day-to-day routine, making it, or rather not just only making it, but transcending it into a routine which you're gonna freaking love it. Okay, you're just gonna freaking love it. And the reason for it is that I don't know how many of you did so, but for many of you, for the first time, you're gonna feel like you are on the right track with your life. We can see that with the moon card being into the fifth position. You maybe not be able to explain why one thing is happening or another, but you are gonna feel it, right? And this is gonna put your mind at ease. And in fact, aspects that you have been disappointed into, maybe, well, disappointed it is, how can I put it into words? The least that we can say, maybe you have right out omitted the idea of those things. For example, you may have omitted the idea of falling in love because you have been betrayed or heartbroken, you know, or whatever. So yeah, these are a topic of devastation. This is where the more devastating it was, the bigger the impending change in a positive side, and the hope in this venue will be regained back. So if you gave up on love, very likely that you're gonna fall in love. If you gave up on being successful, very likely that you're gonna start being successful. You know, if you have gave up on having a harmonious relationships, you are gonna have a harmonious relationships, and that will be for a very, very long time. Okay, so whatever happiness you do establish within the next couple of weeks, it will haunt you and hunt you and chase you for a very, very long time. And you know, when things kind of like start manifesting and taking shape, you're gonna find it very hard to believe. You better do. I mean, you better believe it, because that is the only negative and unpleasant thing that I can say here from these cards, that you're gonna find it very hard to believe that is actually happening to you, but it is. All right, Gemini. Five of Swords, Six of Cups, Two of Swords, Eight of Pentacles, Ace of Cups. So there will be a reversal for you. I mean, this is going to be the main topic and the main subject. The full moon in Gemini. Under a reversal, I mean, a disastrous situation actually makes a turnaround and becomes actually salvageable, and even more than that, it becomes profitable. It becomes gainful and beneficial. And the strive for it could be your undoing. It is what those cards are showing, because in your passion and in your stride to make it work and to make it happen, according to these cards, there is a serious chance that two things. First, which is in the material world, and it is more dangerous than the other, you are going to start overlooking things, overlooking details. becoming careless, even worse, becoming reckless. And this carelessness and recklessness will combine in ruthlessness. And yes, by the end of, the process, you are gonna reach your goal on a price bigger than you can tell, more than you know. The second thing, loss of how we forget to have fun, how we forget to enjoy the fruits of our labor. Well, that is the second thing that can happen. So in order to mitigate that, do not overextend. That is the only thing that these cards are saying as a guidance for you. Let me check on the third card. Yeah, Two of Swords. Do not overextend. Now, because the Two of Swords is in the third position here, that card indicates that there are still things to happen or an information to come, which actually are going to point you into the right approach, so to speak. Not the right path, you are already on the right path. The approach, how you're going to walk it is the question. And this card says that there is still what to happen, there is still what you should learn in order to kind of like adopt the correct representation or correct manifestation, so to speak. So do not rush it. That's all that it is asked. And I'm not talking even about being patient, being conservative, and as well moderate. It is what it is required here from those cards, and you are gonna nail it like never before. All right, next, not Gemini, Cancer. The Hierophant, the Magician, the Emperor, the Queen of Pentacles, the Eight of Cups. So there are so many ways you can look at those cards. For one, what they're showing is that the full moon in Gemini, it is actually the mark where you should start working for your name. So in the future, your name can start working for you. Okay. Or it also could represent the trust. It is the mark where you should start associating yourself with people that you can trust rather than people that you like, which are two different things. But the thing is that, so I can summarize all that, these cards are saying that this time, that full moon in Gemini, it is the mark where you should start involving yourself in things, in situations, in relationships or in jobs that you can have control over, instead of kind of like drifting wherever the current takes you. And it's very likely that most of you here, or for what those cards are showing, you're going to have to start from scratch. Building up trust, building up reliability, building up your name, okay, building up your reputation, if you will. And it all falls to that, your reputation, your name, how you present yourself, because we do have Magician into the second position. And as a follow-up to all the rest of the cards, what this shows is that, can I put it into words, people which are important for your progress, they don't know you, but they are about to. They should and they have to. So show yourself. It's very important to show yourself reliable and trustworthy, and that you actually can face ups and downs within the family, within the job, within the relationship. So it's kind of like a cycle of you proving yourself, which is something you are going to dislike. I can see that into the Eight of Cups at the last position, but because it is in the last position, that means that the future is going to repay you double, or kind of like awards you double for your trouble. So it's gonna worth it, if not anything else. Okay, next we do have Leo, or Leo rather. Page of Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles, Justice, Three of Cups, Seven of Cups. All right, so we're talking about interaction relationships, business relationships, intimate relationships, friendships, any kind of relationships here. And this is going to be a mark of commitment. I mean, within this lunar cycle, a commitment is going to be established, at least according to these cards. For you, could be intimate commitment, business commitment, some kind of commitment in between friends, whatever the case, you know. You know your situations, you know which one of those is likely to be. Question: is it worth it? That is something only you can answer. We can see that within those couple of cards. Seven of Pentacles, second position, Justice, third position. Those two cards call for a negotiation. And when we add the Three of Cups, which is into the fourth position, this is all about you and the person that you are committing with, kind of like striving for the same thing. Okay? And only then the whole thing is going to be worth it. So it's important for me to elaborate here. Can you strive for the same thing? Can you aim for the same results? Definitely you can. Are you aiming at the start of this commitment? Not necessarily. This is why it is very important that you talk. Okay, you talk with one another, share your fears, share your dreams, share what you hope for, share what you are expecting. Very important, because otherwise you may find yourself a bit ahead of yourself. Not just only you, but the other side as well. And it's not like it's going to be a colossal failure. I mean, according to these cards, you cannot fail. It's just is going to be a colossal disappointment that is going to bounce you back at the start of this commitment, and you have to try again. Can you avoid that? Yes, you just, have to take it one thing at a time. Talk first. Express, like I said, all you expect, all you hope for, and all you dream for. And as well your fears. That is also a very, very important thing. If it is a personal commitment, because those cards speak about that as well a little bit, if it is a personal commitment, just follow the results, because whenever you do make that personal commitment, you are going to see results right away in a certain direction, and that is the direction you should follow, although it may not be the direction you like. At least at the start. You're going to learn to like it, or you're going to see that it was worth it, but in the future, not now. Virgo next. King of Wands. Again, the ambition for what it seems. Nine of Pentacles. Queen of Wands. Four of Swords. Ace of Cups. So Ace of Cups and King of Wands, like we had a Taurus, not Taurus, was, I forgot which star sign it was. But basically what those cards are speaking, like I said, it is the change that makes the reversal in these two particular positions, okay? Which are allowing you to actually transform. No, it was a different card. So it was because they are going to have their hands free. For you, is going to be a switch that will now going to allow you to chase your ambition or to transform it into a powerful drive. Issue that we can see, not a big one, but still, it could harm you a little bit. So it's important that you do listen, because there are going to be a loyal companions around you that are going to breed some sense, because you are going to be overwhelmed with passion and this sweet aggression, you know, that you want things to work out, and people are kind of like tending to be a bit reckless in that particular regard. So, or in that particular case. So you're going to have a very astute sense how things work. You're going to have the knack of making things work. For example, whenever there is an issue or whenever there is a situation, immediately you're going to be able to identify why, how, and what is going to push it forward. But what you may not be able to identify, it is the consequences of one or another version of this performance, so to speak. And that's why you're going to have those loyal and faithful companions around you, so they can breathe a bit sense into what could happen. Should you do that and should you do this? So it's important to listen. You don't have to take their advice, but the very least is going to prepare you for what happens next. I don't know if it pains me to say it, but the only issue here is that you are going to be way too good for your own sake in the next couple of weeks. I mean, your progression is going to be way too good for your own sake. You know, when people are too smart for their own sake, well, you are going to be too good for your own sake. Hopefully, you will be able to kind of like take it to your advantage. Hello, Star Lover. All right, next, Libra. Four of Pentacles. Nine of Cups. High Priestess. Page of Swords. The Magician. Now give me a second here. Okay. Here how it goes. You'll be very fulfilled, in a sense of that you're going to have that sense of accomplishment, a big one, a huge one, a sense of accomplishment in regards to your work, your love life, if you do have one, you know, and it's just you're going to have that sense of security, which is true, by the way, okay? It's because this full moon in Gemini, at least according to these cards, will ensure the future for you, will ensure the future of your marriage for the next few months, or maybe for the next few years, or maybe for your entire life, will ensure the future of your career, of your friendships and whatnot, and that will subdue you. This is the best word I can find about that, because when you kind of like experience that sense of security, Libra, you will have no interest to kind of like push yourself. Because not because and because of that, all the original thoughts about how to make a new business or how to expand your home or your social circle, gone. Or they are, if not gone, they are going to be shoved aside. And that is a mistake. So what is asked of you is to do anything of your power not to stop your progress. Okay, you may feel that, because you're going to feel that like you don't need anything else. This is how good it's going to feel. Sensual joy, fullness of life, content to be where you are and all these things. And it's just, you're going to feel that you don't need anything else. And you may not need anything else, but you can do so much more. So much more good. You can help to so much more people. You can flourish so much more things. So this is the ask of the cards. You don't have to do it, but don't stop there. That is what they ask. Other than that, you will be on a fantastic place. All right. Here goes nothing, Scorpio. You don't like Florida? You know, when I was a kid, and on the TV, we had like 4 or 5 TV channels back then. Now we do have like 500 and something, but back then we do have only, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 channels. And one of the channels, every evening throughout the week, the weekdays, they were kind of like they were casting or producing, I don't know how to put it, crime scene investigation Miami. And when I was watching it, I was thinking, gosh, that is a place I want to live at. Okay, that is a place. It looks really, really nice. It looks really cool. So I don't know, Florida looks cool, or at least that's what the TV shows. All right, guys, Scorpio, here goes nothing. Yeah, 10 of Swords. It's death. Queen of Cups. Four of Cups. The World. Yeah, for the expensive, I can believe that. But truly, when I was watching it, that show, I was thinking that is a place I not just can live at, I want to live at. And I remember because my third cousin lives in the United States, and he called one day, it was a long time ago, saying that he's gonna move to Miami, and I was so freaking jealous. So freaking jealous. I'm not now, because I like where I am, but still was my You know, it was my kid's dream, so to speak. For Scorpio, oh, guys. I don't know. Are we cursed or something? I mean, last few months, hell, last year, I never drew something good for Scorpio. All right, so what the cards here speak about, it's about definition. What I mean is a definitive answer or mind, so to speak. We have a mind to make. We gotta make up our mind about certain experience or about certain thing, okay? And it's a bit spiritual reading, so it could be boring here. But according to these cards, is all about figuring out the longevity. Okay, you have an experience, you struggle to make up your mind about, you have pros and cons and all that. And what is going to tip the scale, according to these cards? The longevity in terms of business and how can I put it into words? Discrecy, and as well, or rather like being discreet, and as well being supportive in terms of emotional support, in terms of a social and intimate as well. Not the outer look, not the money, okay, not the stability, but the emotional security. And we are gonna have hard time seeing it work, but it can, and we should not give up. That is what the reading says, okay? We should not give up on slogging, struggling, and I don't know how to call it even, agony maybe. He's entering new relationship. Well, yeah, I mean, he has to make up his mind. Is he fully committed or not? If that reading was for him, okay, personal reading, because once you go forward with it, there isn't going back, all right? You can't just flip it like a switch. That is, by the way, the most negative part of the Ten of Swords. Once you do it, there is no going back. It's like saying something, okay? And that's the problem with the truth. Once you say it, you cannot take it back. That's why people prefer to lie, because lies change. But once you say it, you can never take it back. I mean, the truth, that is. Sagittarius. The Magician. The Hermit. The Star. The World. Wow, only major. And Ten of Wands. It's the fifth one. Well, although only major, This is gonna be like a walk in the park for you. I mean, a super trivial experience. It is because for what those cards here are showing, I don't know, every single one of you Sagittarius is kind of like pushing a different thing. Some of you may be pushing your career, others may be pushing some private thing. But whatever you're pushing according to these cards, you're gonna fly it with colors. I mean, with a flying colors is going to be pushed and produced and basically established, so to speak, forward. And now you may take a bit more serious than it should be, which according to these cards at the very least is going to drive certain people away. But the people that is going to drive away are actually people that's, are around you or with you only for their own sheer benefit, so to speak. And that is the reason why they are going to be driven away, because there is no interest for them in it, into your manifestation. It's an excellent time, at least according to these cards, to renegotiate contracts, renegotiate the terms of your job, renegotiate the terms of your marriage, if you will, the terms of your partnerships and all these kind of things in a way to suit your ideals and your standards better, because the reading could be very broad, but one thing is for certain here: you gotta follow your criteria, you gotta follow your standards, you gotta follow your ideals. If things aren't happening according to them, then it's not worth it. Okay, it's not worth it. That is what those cards are showing here, because with the World card being into the 4th position, guys, you are never gonna consider something concluded or finished unless it falls in your standards. And if, like I said, you do not follow them, then it will never be whole, so to speak. Okay. So with the full moon in Gemini, you gotta stick and build your personal sovereignty and your personal standing. And you may find it hard to believe, but actually a lot of people are gonna like you this, or kind of like they are gonna like this new self of yours. Okay, next, Capricorn. Ace of Cups, 7 of Swords, King of Wands, 2 of Pentacles, 6 of Pentacles. Now, the good thing about these cards is that you are exactly where you're supposed to be, in a sense of, in a sense of a, oh my god, can I put it into words? Flourishing, right? Exactly where you need to be to make your marriage flourish, to make your relationship flourish, or your job, and so on and so forth. But it can only flourish when you understand and also act according to this understanding that now it's not about you. Okay, it's not about you, it's about the other side and their agenda and their needs. So many of you are going to consider this a cycle or a phase of the moon of a sacrifice. But you want to be happy, that's the path, at least according to these cards. And you should take it with a smile. Okay, that's what they're saying, because the concepts you do have outdated. That's what they say. I mean, my tarot cards, and you gotta learn new concepts and new perspectives, so to speak, which are more dated to the situation that it is going on. And the other side, these cards are not showing it, but this is the only reason why, at least in my mind, why the Seven of Swords could be into the second position. The other sides, the entity you're working for, or your business partner or your suitor, their concepts are dated, and therefore you should stick with them, not with yours, at least for now. So yeah, it's not about you. Usually I can't vouch for that, because this isn't personally my belief, but that's the price of the happiness that you will have to pay, at least according to these tarot cards. All right, next, Aquarius. Two of Wands, Seven of Cups, Ten of Wands, Eight of Swords, Six of Cups. All right, it's a pretty simple reading. You have started something very recently, according to them, and under very recently, couple of months the max, and currently it's producing results, or you may find it to be producing a good results, and it will continue on to produce better and better and better results. And you should just not give up on it, because according to these cards, it will be a bit demanding. Okay, so there are going to be a certain criteria that you will have to live up to, but according to these cards, should you do so, you are going to reap an amazing rewards at the end. In other words, is going to worth it. And I do believe that you're going to have no problem with live up to those criteria, because they're going to be criteria only, for example, in your mother's eyes, or in your father's eyes, or in your friend's eyes, because to them it will look like a chores, but to you, pleasantries. For what we see, any chore that it is producing result actually is gonna be pleasant for you to be a part of. I don't know why. I mean, how can chore be pleasant? But you are going to solve that conundrum, for what it seems, into the next couple of weeks, guys. And one surplus here is that also you will be able to make your points across. So those who do not understand you by that point, or they don't want to understand you in a certain way, crystal clear is that you are going to make in certain way, you will be able to make that point across undeniably, and therefore, people won't be able to play dumb with you anymore. All right, and last but not least, we do have Pisces. Ten of Wands, Ace of Cups, the World, Nine of Swords, Six of Swords. Very busy. You are gonna be very busy. Not necessarily, you know, with responsibilities, but with it will be with urges. I don't know how to explain it, because what these cards are saying here is that what's gonna make you busy, it is the consequences of doing or not doing a certain things, and therefore you are gonna make everything on your power to avoid negative consequences, and you can do so in every single aspect of your life. And this is exactly what's gonna make you a super busy into the next couple of weeks. So not exactly the happiest moment of your life for what we can say here. And this busyness that you are gonna be in the midst of, it's not going to exactly make a super big change, but the smallest change here is going to mitigate the consequences, because it isn't about the core, it's about what the core makes. Okay, it's about what the core produces. And it seems that you will be able to make it to produce a really good stuff, because the result of all that is going to be you having a dream, right? And you thinking about that dream, because that was the only thing you can do about it. But now you can do more. You can actually do something productive for it. You can actually start making that dream come true. But first, like those cards said, in the next couple of weeks, you have to be busy to deflect or avoid, so to speak, the negative consequences of whatever actions required. So it will be a bit nervous transit, because, you know, working under pressure to avoid negativity, it's not the best experience out there in the world. But alas, the results are going to be good for you. All right, guys, so that was for the 12 star signs. And now the super chat. So anyone who supported and is about to support the stream and the channel through super chat, you guys are going to have a reading right now. And the first, Yasmin. So Yasmin, let's see what is going to be the full moon in Gemini personally for you. You're welcome, Radko. Thank you, Taco. All right, Yasmin, those are the cards. Let me get the Pisces out here. Okay. And so the full moon in Gemini will be the mark for you where life is going to start feel real, and accordingly, the reason for it, partnership. It could be as well engagement, right? If you are not engaged with your boyfriend, don't be surprised if he proposes to you, okay? But the person or the entity who is gonna want that partnership with you, they make it with an incentive to be a long-term one and to take care for you. That's why it's very likely to be an engagement if you're not engaged, okay? So once that partnership takes place, life will feel real. It will feel like it's on track, so to speak. And it will be good if you don't get ahead of yourself here. Now we do have the Ten of Swords, which is on the second position, and that is irrevocable in terms of acting or speaking. So it's very important, whatever action you want to take in the next couple of weeks or whatever decision you want to render, always leave a door tiny open for you to kind of like take your words back or take your actions back. Very, very important for that. Because it's going to bite you at your bottom if you don't do so later on into the future. But it's this partnership is going to represent, I can't say everything you have ever wanted, but definitely stuff you have wanted. And these cards are highly encouraging you to follow those dreams of your heart, because if you don't do so, no one else is going to. Okay? And do not ask for a permission. You do not need one, because it's about you, not about anyone else. So this is what the full moon in Gemini is going to bring for you, Yasmin. It's going to work out very, very well for you. All right. Next. Rocky. Okay, Rocky, those are your cards. You're going to have a phone call. A woman is going to make that phone call. I don't know what it's going to be about. But this phone call is going to put your affairs into halt. For one or for another reason. But the incentive here is going to be until matter is resolved. There is going to be no point, nor a reason, nor a, how can I put it into words, nor a merit to move forward with your affairs. Now, important thing is not to dwell into it, okay? Not to dwell into what the phone call is about. Not to take it emotionally and not to take it literally. That is also very, very important, because while once you make that phone call, okay, or what that phone call is made with you, you may feel like with your back against the wall, maybe hopeless as well, whatever the case. Actually, the expression we do have in my country, it is that instead of gouging your eyes out, is going to fix your eyelashes, okay? Because ultimately it's going to turn super good for you, okay? It's going to provoke an event or a sequence or a circumstances which are going to put into light the sky that was darkened before, and the only thing you will have to do is just wait. So do not panic. That is the important thing here. Do not panic, and do not, like I said, take it for their own merit, so to speak. Because for all it's now, it could be just a, I don't know, misspoken, for a lack of false positive or a false negative, whatever the case. I hope you know what I mean. And in the meantime, it will be very important to focus on things which are working for you, just to maintain that sense of progression, because you are going to need it once that stiffness and once that, can I put it into words, blockage is off, because it's going to be off, and the only thing you gotta need is just wait. Okay. Taco, you're next. Yes, Rocky, that was for you. With the phone call, that was for you. All right, Taco. For you, the cards are not that specific. But what can I tell you here? Those are the cards for you. Is that a conundrum or a dilemma that you are having right now, you will resolve, because the solution, it will be revealed in front of you, and this solution basically will be very different from what you thought is gonna work. Okay, so you're gonna find yourself very surprised. Now, what is more important though, it is that okay, Rocky, just curious, is it about your health? So, Taco, yeah, so you will be very surprised. And I mean, don't try to brainstorm it right now, mate. This resolution, so to speak, it's unlike um yeah, there was a health involved. I just didn't want it to, say, because it may not have happened yet, and I just don't want to make you think of the worst. Okay, so that's why. But that's why I asked: is there a health involved? Because anyway, uh, well, Taco, this is going to be unlike anything you're considering, because we do have the death card on the first position, and the death card here speaks that what you are thinking about the solution is no good. Okay, it's just it's not gonna work. It's not going to produce results. I'm sorry to hear that, Rocky. I don't know about her because the cards were for you, but this is gonna turn for the better for you, at least. Okay, so yeah, just focus on what you can make progress into. Okay, like I said, this is what the cards are saying here. You should maintain a sense of progress and of usefulness, if you will. Anyway, back to Taco. uh yeah, I mean, mate, what you are considering, at least according to these cards, no good. Because with the death card, what you have at your disposal, that includes thoughts. It's a it's in flux. It's in flux and needs to be let go of. So the new versions or the new resolutions can kind of like come in that actually are going to work, and that will pave a way for, I don't know, long term, is the best way how I can describe it here. I mean, if I knew your situation and what kind of conundrum you are, I would have been able to kind of like link the cards and tell you more. But according to them right now, this is gonna be like a new enterprise for you, right? Like a new enterprise. And the only thing that it is asked of you here in order to kind of like reach to the very end, because this is what is at stake here, is your readiness, nothing more, and determination as well. But nonetheless, here, this conundrum or a dilemma that you have is going to be solved, and this resolution, well, that could be the case. Well, come to Bulgaria then. I mean, you're gonna find it very cheap here, mate. Anyway, this is going to mark a new beginning. It's the only way how you can say it for you, because we do have the Fool here, okay, at the 5th position, which is the positive aspect, or in other words, the positive result for you. But another thing that I'm gonna say here, it involves conflicts probably with your family. Yeah, I I was about to say that never were in Varna. I were, but I was very young there, and I didn't remember much of kind of like the city. I just have a few, remnants of memories about Varna. But Varna it's a good city. It's the second biggest, and I think it's the first. No, it's the second economic because it has a one of the biggest ports in Black Sea, very important. So economically, it's really good to live in Varna. It is. I mean, you're gonna find a resolution now. Are you going to enforce it on you, mate? It's one of the dirtiest seas, unfortunately. It's one of the dirtiest seas in the world. Oh, it's very crowded. Yes, Devon, thank you for the £5. All right, next, Jasmine. Good morning. Yeah, it is, because it is almost a closed sea. You do have only Bosphorus that is leading water out, or it's kind of like it makes it, not considered lake like a Caspian Sea, and it's a very busy sea, right? It's very busy sea. The Russian ships are going through there, the Ukrainian ships, the Turkish ships, which are a lot as well. I think 30% of the grain of the world is going through the Black Sea and through the Bosphorus, and it's making it very dirty because it's almost a closed sea, enclosed, so to speak, sea. It's just the water doesn't have that much of a volume to filter itself out and to change itself out, so to speak. It's money, Jasmine. Money are the topic here. Money that you will be very successful making. Okay, very successful making. Those are your cards that we do have. And the only question it is when it's enough. That's going to be the only question for you. And you're going to be presented a few ways how to make those money. And this presentation very likely to be with a person you work with, your coworker, or someone that you do work for, or someone that you do work with. Now, how much is enough? Only you can decide. You definitely deserve more, at least according to these cards. So you can definitely ask or strive for a little bit more than you are making right now. But don't go greedy. Okay, don't go greedy. That is very important here. And that's pretty much the topic for you. It's the key or the guidance of these cards, or that's pretty much the main subject of this full moon in Gemini for you. And the guidance of these cards, Jasmine, is, can I put it into words? What makes you feel certain moving forward in terms of the money situation? Because too much money brings too much worry. I know many people that do have a lot of money throughout my career. None of them sleeps well. I can guarantee you that. None of them sleeps well. So this is the balance that you do need to maintain. How much is enough so you can have enough to consider yourself wealthy and to be able to sleep well. But yeah, you are gonna make money, which is, you know, a good thing. All right, use the phone next. What's coming my way? You're welcome, Jasmine. Present delivery. Present delivery that you are gonna be called upon. That is coming your way. I think that this present is for you. I am, use the phone. So that could be a courier that calls you, tells you, hey, you do have a package that needs to be delivered. And this package contains present. Or it could be a bonus at work. I do believe that this is the second time that thing comes where you are called upon to get your bonus. But it is going to be a present that's coming your way. Tiana, thank you for the $1. So let's check on your card here. That's okay. Your card, it is Queen of Wands. So this full moon in Gemini for you will be very successful in terms of making progress on all fronts. That is, business, you will have the sense to know how to make things work. Relationships, you will have the sense, or rather like the knack of knowing what people need. So how you're going to use these things, entirely up to you. But you can manipulate the matter or the situations to your favor. Whether you're going to do it or not, again, entirely up to you. All right, guys. So with that said, this is going to be all for tonight. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your generosity. And we are going to see each other next time. Until then, bye.